Hi guys, welcome to another Game Talk. Heracles Ajax 0-0. Today with me Papimento, welcome.
What's up, man?
Yeah, not that great of a match. We dropped 2 points. What went wrong?
What didn't go wrong? I mean, it's so frustrating, Ajax. It's not like we didn't have any chances, Anthony in the first half, the header from Tadic. I think we could have gotten a penalty. Enough. There were enough tackles that I would consider maybe going for a red card.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. But to be honest, did we deserve to win? No, we didn't do much. I think too many players were below par today. I'm just pissed. I'm just frustrated just by what I saw. Especially if you hear your captain saying after a great win against PSV, the stats don't matter. Pakschaal is everything. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then you play this. These are the matches you need to win.
Yes.
The most important matches you need to win. And it's also frustrating that every time you get these types of teams that play defensively and kind of pressing also from the front, Utrecht, Twente, now Heracles, it's just it's like Ten Hag still didn't find the answer for it. And even with all that below parness of all the players, we could have won. That's the most frustrating thing.
We had a few big chances and they didn't go in. And that's starting to turn out to be a pattern in these kind of matches, right? Each season against these teams, we have difficulty, getting the 3 points. We've dropped many times against Heracles. Utrecht is always a difficult game. Twente, Groningen we won this year, but these kind of teams, usually we have a hard time against them. What is the reason that we cannot win easily? While we can win against PSV 5-0, we can win against Dortmund with big score.
Look, I can't put my finger on it, to be honest, because it's always the same. I know Utrecht, for them, it's the team. Ajax is the team they want to play against, and it's the team they're anticipated the most, and they go full on every time. But Twente and Heracles, seriously, I don't understand. I know Heracles has a good coach. I like the way they play press, from the front. So the coach is not bad, but you would think that Erik Ten Hag learned from those matches, and still he's not capable of changing the team's way. If it doesn't work out again today, the same substitutions. You said it before on Twitter.
Yeah.
Same klasse for Berghuis. You can just write it beforehand. Anthony for Neres. A lot on Twitter were saying this is a Kudus game. Maybe bring Kudus in. Only 3 substitutions, while so many were below par. That's why I gave Erik Ten Hag such a low grade. I gave him 4. I think the way they started means you didn't prepare them well enough. And if you can't, in the second half, change the way your team is playing, not even with your substitutions, then something is wrong.
This is also why we sometimes criticize him, because he isn't able to turn things around if things are not going well with Plan A. And this is that kind of match. Always the same substitutes, always the same kind of tricks he tries to use, and it doesn't work.
I was even thinking before the game, why would you want to play with the first 11 again?
Yeah.
Give some guys that need that don't get so many minutes, so they can convince you that they need to be on the pitch. But then you will get a higher energy intensity game.
Yeah.
Now you feel like these players, they know I'm the first 11. It felt like, 50%?
Yeah,
and
still, it was a difficult game, but still, it was raining a lot. It was on AstroTurf. The conditions weren't that easy. And also, we could have gotten a penalty, let's be honest. So
we could have won.
But
still, I think Ajax and the budget, if we look at the budget from Ajax and what kind of players they have on the pitch, this should be a surer win. And I don't expect anything less. If you want to be champion, you have to win these kind of matches. And I don't want the second place to have even a chance of smelling that first place. So, yes, I understand Champions League is important. I understand that you can go 100% for the Champions League. But winning the league at the end is the most important thing for you to play Champions League again. So Yeah, I will never accept this type of performance from our team.
No,
Never.
no. And to go a little bit more into depth, we criticize Ten Hag from time to time, same substitutions and stuff. What would you have done differently if you were the coach?
Maybe an extra midfielder. Maybe bring in Kudus. I mean, bring in Darami. You have enough options. Maybe a Tagliafico because Blind was awful today. And that should be one of our most experienced player and the best on the ball. Well, I didn't see it today. So it's okay to sometimes put your veterans on the bench. And don't be scared of that. And I feel like, some people have with Ten Hag, like, I don't substitute. Yeah, he favors them. Yeah, Tadic, Haller, maybe Blind. I mean, Haller played a decent first half, don't get me wrong. But in the second half, the amount of times he falls, man. He gets the ball and he's already on the ground.
It's like Swan Lake sometimes.
Just put him on ballet or something, man, to get some balance. But it's not normal how many times. I mean, he has a lot of goals and his stats, great. But I never seen Zlatan fall so much on the floor.
With his height, we played soccer also, I'm a big guy. They do not get me to the ground. How is it possible that this guy with his strength and his length always falls?
Maybe the way he charges the ball or the way he wants to control the ball. I seriously don't know, but it annoys me every time he falls. And it was a pattern building up throughout the game. But don't get me wrong, he did some great stuff as well, link up play. He had some great passes, but just the amount of time that he falls, that should stop. It shouldn't be, especially not in an Eredivisie game. I know if the tempo is a little bit high in the Champions League, okay, it can happen. But 5-6 times in a game against Heracles?
Yeah, it's difficult. I want to touch upon something else. I want to highlight another player of the team. It was actually your man of the match. We criticized him, at least I did, a lot in the past because my opinion is he's not first team material.
Yeah.
But the first last three matches he played, terrific. What do you think of Pasveer today? Because we could have easily lost.
Look, it's not that I thought Pasveer wasn't good enough. I just think that Onana is a much better goalkeeper, for instance, and I think Gorter will be also a much better goalkeeper with some experience. But you cannot deny that Pasveer has a lot of experience, and he was how will I say it, before the Dortmund game, he was the weakest link in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now I go to a game and I'm like, okay, Pasveer is not the weakest link. I don't worry about it so much. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. So takeaway from this game, we had a week rest. Still, we dropped points today. You would have expected if you have a week rest that you have more sharp players, fitter players, but unfortunately we dropped and PSV gained 2 points. So less words from you.
Yeah, I just want to highlight Gravenberg because I think Gravenberg grew in the game and in the second half he was much better. There were some things that didn't work out exactly that should have, but no, I think he did a good job, especially compared to last match.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So I want to highlight that. So maybe he's back on his getting to form. I think we missed Noes a lot because you see that Wrench is a good player, still lacks a little bit the experience. But his positional play compared to Mazraoui, I think Wrench is much more a defensive-minded player. Yeah. And you notice with Noes, in defense, his positioning is good. But he can also give you an extra player on the midfield. And he brings an extra attacker as well because his link-up play with Anthony is so good that he just gets in, Yeah. So I think Noes was really missed today. For the rest, I would say the team, the first 11... I'm so disappointed in them today.
Yeah.
And I'm also disappointed in our coach that he could not turn things around in the second half.
Could saw today also, Anthony is also not in his strength if Noes is not playing. Because of Noes and the way he plays with him, he's more dangerous also.
I think Anthony didn't play a good game.
No.
I did give him a 6 because I do think he came a lot in the positioning to score in the first half especially. And he gave some crosses and he was giving at least the energy to try to do something.
Yeah.
So I gave him a 6, but there are some players I expected much more.
So incident or Or it's just an incident, or do we need
I
to
cannot
worry,
say
man?
it's an incident if it happens with Twente. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe Twente was early in the season, but then Utrecht plays the same kind of match, and then Heracles plays the same kind of match, and we still didn't find that answer. So Erik ten Hag really needs to scratch his head and find an answer for defensive playing teams.